Dan Skelton's just seen Kateira make fairly short work of 4 rivals in the listed mares hurdle. She was 2s on, but she'd been 3s on, so just drifted a little in the closing stages before the off, but she won very comfortably. Dan, that's a lovely prize to win in and of itself, but what's it a springboard to?
Possibly Doncaster New Race, 14th of December. There's a 3 mile, I don't know if it was listed or graded mares contest, so we'll see how the weather turns up for her there. But I don't know what the threshold is exactly, whether it's pure soft or soft heavy or whatever it is, but there is a point where you just cannot run her on the ground. Today it was soft enough for her, but she just had the numbers above her rivals to cope with it. We got a beat in the race last year when it was 3 miles, so absolute sensational bit of work by the race planning team there.
Did you give them any help with that?
I didn't actually. Some days it suits you, some days it doesn't. I'm sure I'll be here one day with a mare that wants 3 miles over 2.5, but 2.5 today really suited her.
She does look quite smart when she does get her conditions. In the spring, do you think she could be a genuine graded horse against genuine graded opposition?
I think so, yeah. And she's had a couple of goes in those handicaps at Aintree. Maybe it's time to let her have a go in the Grade 1 if conditions really suit. And, I wouldn't bother sort of shouldering 11 stone 10 or 12 stone or even 12 stone 4, as JP's pointed out to us recently in the handicaps at Aintree. If there was a horse, a 155 horse turn up in the handicap and we were going to get a medium weight, then I'd probably be drawn to the handicap. But I don't want to carry in too much weight in the handicap, so it could just be that it sends us down that route.
What did you think of JP's thoughts on the handicaps at Cheltenham? You're someone who knows how to win them.
Yeah, but then I think everything he says makes absolute sense.
You shorten the fields? Would you happily shorten the fields?
Happily shorten the fields. I think by shortening the fields, what I think you do is you increase the competition throughout the season, because everyone's got to get higher up to ensure that they get in the race. I think you would then encourage people to not just run more, but you encourage everyone up the ladder rather than let's see what's the lowest weight we can afford to get in with on the day. Let's be getting up the ladder as much as you can. I think when somebody like JP says anything, you've got to be listening. He doesn't say much. I was as shocked as anybody to find his name in a Racing Post article, and it's great that somebody who put so much into the game and has done for so long cares still so much. And I think when somebody's saying that, I think we've really got to take real notice.
Now, speaking of which, it's a beautiful segue. You've got Langer Dan engaged this weekend in here or Ireland potentially?
No, I took him out of Ireland.
You took him out of the hands?
Yeah. I didn't think he'd be beating Tiapu and what's now going to be likely to be Lossy Mouth.
Yes.
I didn't think he'd be beating those over 2.5 this time of the year. Not that I think that we're any certainty on Friday. I wouldn't necessarily say exercise caution with him, but I have repeatedly explained to everybody, whether I'm believed or not, Nick, that this is not an easy horse in the autumn and the winter. Now, the difference with him this year is that he comes in off a much higher performance in the Aintree hurdle and the select hurdle at Sandown than he's ever done before. So I remember when we ran him in a conditions hurdle 2 years ago at Aintree. I think it was a 4-runner race. He literally would not get out of bed. That was when he was performing in the mid 130s, 40s, etc. So now that he's up into that level, maybe it's a sufficient sort of level of average form for him to be able to put it all together. But I don't want to use the word exercise caution, because he's done loads of work. I'm happy with how he is. I just know in the back of my mind that he is always a better horse in spring.
Okay. So even if he runs average at the weekend, is he still a sort of horse now that you think, right, well, I would actually prefer to be running him in championship race in the spring than handicaps?
100%. There will need to be a very, very good reason to run in another Coral Cup when we want to run in a Stayers hurdle. And I don't actually feel like he needs to put up sparkling numbers between now and whenever. What you have to do with this horse is you have to trust him. I think when you get to the spring, you've just got to trust that it all comes together. His work is never very good. You might sound like, oh, here we go, he's at it again. But I promise you, his work is never very good.
Stop protesting so much.
I know.
Everyone believes you.
They don't. But he's a pleasure to have, because he knows how to win when things are in his favour. But I'd love him to win on Friday. I really, really would. I'd love everyone to say, there you go, Skelton's talking nonsense. But I'm not defending the horse, but whatever happens, I just know that whatever happens.
You're not defending
we'll
a
be
horse.
in.
You can't defend a horse. He's a horse. You're defending yourself.
Yeah, but I just know however he runs,
Yeah.
it won't deter us from our
long-term
springtime
goal.
target.
Okay.
You know, he could get beat 3 times between now and then, and we're going for the same.
Bookmark this. Bookmark this.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So Midnight River this weekend. Is he all right to run in the Coral Gold Cup?
Yeah, I need to talk to Ian and Frank who own him, because I actually told them on Saturday that I wouldn't confirm him, and now I have. I was really happy with him, then I wasn't so happy with him. Now I'm happy again with him, so I'm playing a little bit of the okey cokey with him, but the one that I'm sure is running is Galia. Yeah, now the rain's come, 3 mile 2 around there with an acceptable weight is much more like it.
So do you think Harry will ride her come what may?
Harry's going to ride Galia, which is why I need the discussion with the guys about Midnight River, because I was going to wait 2 weeks and go to Cheltenham, which I still could. So sorry I'm not being that clear on him.
No, don't be silly. And how's Grey Dawning doing?
Really good. I was expecting him to be exhausted on Sunday. He wasn't. He was really bright. Yeah, all his food, he trotted up really well. I was really expecting him to be very, very tired, and I was delighted to obviously see that he wasn't. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden I've changed plan, and that all of a sudden we're going to run in 3 weeks' time or something like that. But having been so sure on the day that was going to take, 100 days or something to get over, it's not like that anymore. So we'll wait and see. But for what it's worth, and actually I'm delighted not to have seen any negative comments, because I don't really think that there was any need for any, because, okay, Roy Buckey's never going to win a Gold Cup, but I just think we got outed by him I think we got out-aged, I think we got out-experienced, I think we got out-galloped on the ground. But the way he jumped and travelled our horse earlier on, if that had been sort of, good to soft, I think he'd have put up a different performance, and I was sure, and I'm sure, that he has improved for his novice year. Yesterday was a better run than he ever put up the year before, and that was what we wanted to see. So the only disappointment with Saturday was that it was a 2, not a 1.
Okay. Well, best of luck wherever he goes now. Thanks for your thoughts, and we'll speak again soon, no doubt.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.